So my excitement for Cyberpunk has yet again been revived, and I'm going to tell you why in just a moment. But also, check out the headline today. It says here, Cyberpunk's next big update. Here's what's in store for Update 1.7. Yes, we're going to be getting further updates to Cyberpunk. Of course, we're getting the expansion in 2023, but it is confirmed by CD Projekt Red that they're going to be doing other things with Cyberpunk, and we have further details as to what to expect from Update 1.7. But I have to talk about this right here. Check it out. Netflix's Cyberpunk Edgerunners is a smash hit. Now fans wonder, will we see a season 2? So I've got some interesting details about that one, but let me tell you what, I am enjoying Edgerunners so much. You have no idea. And yeah, we have got to talk about that. Also, we're going to be talking about this one right here. Cyberpunk leaks are coming true, but which ones remain unfulfilled? Because you know what? We did see some leaks actually get fulfilled based on what happened with Update 1.6, but there's still some that are actually lingering that have not been fulfilled, and we're going to dive into exactly what to expect from that as well. But first, let's take a look at this right here. You guys have got to see this free World War II multiplayer shooter I've been recently playing. It's called Enlisted and is available right now on PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation 5, as well as PS4 and Xbox One with cross-platform support. Now, one thing I love about Enlisted is that it's focused on historical accuracy, but it manages to keep gameplay exciting, dynamic, and keeps you, the player, in the middle of the action. So join me right now on the battlefield. This game is free to download right now, so no purchase necessary. Just follow the link in the description below to begin playing for free. You'll also get a free bonus, including 3 days of premium time and several orders for troops and weapons if you click my link in the description right now. Now, Enlisted truly impresses me. There are hundreds of iconic, realistic World War II weapons to master. You can even build stationary machine guns thanks to engineers and lead your own squad into battle in squads mode. There's also vehicular warfare. Tanks, fighters, and bombers have been recreated with incredible detail. So again, don't be afraid to join me on the battlefield right now. Download Enlisted for free by clicking the link in the description below, and by doing so, you'll get a free bonus which includes 3 days of premium time and several orders for troops and weapons. A very special thank you, by the way, to Enlisted for believing in my work and sponsoring this video. All right, so back into the Cyberpunk news we go. Check out the headline right here. It says Netflix's Cyberpunk Edgerunners is absolutely incredible. And I'm seeing article after article that is headlined just like this. There are only compliments being given to Cyberpunk Edgerunners, and rightfully so. Let me tell you what, I'm currently addicted to the show, and I am absolutely thrilled that Cyberpunk Edgerunners is such a smash hit right now. In fact, get this, on Rotten Tomatoes, it's sitting at a 100% critic score overall right now, with a 96% audience score, doing basically the impossible, proving that Cyberpunk 2077 can exist outside of video games. However, what's really cool about this, and I want to see how this turns out, is how many newcomers that are coming from the anime side of things that have never tried Cyberpunk 2077 will say, hey, you know what? It's time to hop into Cyberpunk 2077. Check out Night City. See what this game is about, because I love the anime. I am so curious to see what happens next, because this anime is being loved and adored by basically everyone right now, which again gets me super, super hyped. Now we have this thread right here. It says it would be pretty cool if they continued Edgerunners and made it into like an anthology series. Every season would be about new characters and story based in Night City. Should they continue it? This one comes from, I gotta give credit, from Murderous Hippie, who asked this question. And yeah, you know what? They definitely should. I'm gonna get into the question a little bit more if we will get season 2 here. But we also have this. It says CD Projekt Red actually hinted that there are secrets about Edgerunners still in Night City in Cyberpunk 2077 right now. Let me know if you guys discover anything, but people are trying to find like, you know, the apartment complexes that have been seen around in Edgerunners and things like that. So there are definitely some hidden stuff still to be revealed in Night City. Now, biggest question is, will we be seeing another season from Edgerunners? Here's what this article had to say about this. It goes on to say the following. There has been no official news regarding a second season, but the odds are that this will be a one and done series. The reason is that this show has always been advertised as a standalone story. Now, don't panic. That made me totally bummed out. However, it goes on to say this right here. The other thing to consider is Studio Trigger's involvement. Many of the Studio Trigger shows have only consisted of one season, but that's not always the case. Sometimes they also produce OVA and anime films, so there's potential for more Cyberpunk Edgerunners content, especially if the anime performs well and attracts a lot of viewers. And it seems like it's doing just that. I mean, obviously, hopefully we see it. By the way, let me know if things change up here. If you guys see Edgerunners in the top 10 trending Netflix list. I didn't see that yet, but I'm curious if in the next week that does start happening. I would not be surprised if that does actually happen. Now, what did CD Projekt Red officially say recently about Cyberpunk as a whole? Check out the headline right here. CD Projekt Red is committed to developing the Cyberpunk IP further, not just the games. So this is a great indication that, hey, they want to keep going more and more into other media. Maybe, just maybe, we'll see more anime based around Cyberpunk 2077. Here's the quote. Goes on to say the following. Let's zoom this in for you all. Thus, we decide to develop one major expansion for Cyberpunk, which is going to take advantage of all the capabilities of the new gen consoles. This is what CD Projekt Red said. Having said that, we're totally, fully committed to developing the Cyberpunk IP further. Beyond this particular Cyberpunk expansion, we put a lot of effort and time into building this franchise, and we definitely want to continue to build upon what was built right now, with new stories, new experiences, new content, basically. Now, not just in video game format, in terms of expansions, there's just going to be one expansion. However, there's going to be new stuff in the future. So to me personally, yeah, it's a bummer we're going to be getting only one expansion, but I'm so excited to see what they do even beyond the video game at this point, considering how amazing Edgerunners has turned out to be. I knew it could be a good anime, but I was not expecting this whatsoever. And a lot of you guys are wondering, hey Robbie, what is going on with update 1.7? So here's the headline: Cyberpunk's next big update. Here's what's in store for update 1.7 and what we know officially from CD Projekt Red. So let's dive into this right now. Now, of course, they're going to be overhauling the police system and things like that. This article goes on to say this: some improvements have been made in the meantime, but at long last, it sounds like there's some hope on the horizon for an actual solution. While discussing the future of Cyberpunk, CD Projekt Red said a complete overhaul to the cop system as well as vehicle-to-vehicle combat was in the works. And I might just be reading too much into this, but vehicle-to-vehicle combat sounds like it won't just be cops, but also other gangs, maybe even just angry citizens that can chase you around in the open world instead of just during scripted set pieces. Yeah, I never really thought about that. That could actually be true. It would be amazing if finally gangs could actually hop into their car on their motorcycles or whatever and chase you down, and you can engage them while you're in your car. That would be very, very cool. And that's what I'm hoping that we do see. Yes, we will be getting that police overhaul system, but what we do need, in my opinion, is an extension to the gangs and what they do. They need their own police type system as well. That's just my opinion. That was what was advertised initially, and I'm still going to push for that. That's what I would really, really love to see. Furthermore, here's some more quotes here from CD Projekt Red. They go on to say this: it gives you a whole new feel and dimension and immersion to enjoying Night City. Now, it was also noted a new melee gameplay loop, new actions in the perk tree, and new cyberware are also being developed. And what's not mentioned in the article is the fact that, yes, we will be seeing some sort of improvements to max tac. Now, I'm not going to over-exaggerate anything here regarding that. I'm just going to state what they said on the stream, but I really, really hope they push this a lot in terms of gameplay features when it comes to max tech, because I feel like it's so underwhelming. And I would like to be able to actually play as them as well, because there was a tease to that, and I felt like the game was kind of incomplete in that regard. I felt like honestly, CD Projekt Red had a plan where you can actually join them, but that didn't happen. Now, we do know what is officially happening with update 1.7, but we're getting that new police overhaul. We're going to be getting vehicle-to-vehicle combat, some really cool things reworked with melee combat, it seems, new cyberware, and a bunch of other things regarding the perk system. So I'm really curious to see how big update 1.7 actually will be. Now, the question is, will we be getting like new side activities, gigs, and things like that? You know, don't hold your breath on that sort of thing. I think what they're going to be doing with update 1.7 is building the base for the expansion. They want all these systems in place because it seems like with the expansion, they're also going to be building out the world in many different ways, specifically Pacifica for the most part. But according to the leaks, it seems like they're going to be going all in to really fleshing out Night City. Now, check this out right here. We have a list of likely Cyberpunk free DLC that has leaked. And this is an old list, but it's so important to go back to this because we're seeing things that are definitely coming true. Of course, a lot of this stuff has actually happened. We got the gigs, jackets. We did already get the vehicles and the apartment customization. But there's stuff on this list that has not happened yet, that needs to happen. And this was leaked, and this is supposed to be coming to Cyberpunk 2077. And that is, of course, we want to see New Game Plus. And I hope it also does come with higher difficulties as well. Now, what we do know officially about New Game Plus is that it was supposedly in development before Cyberpunk did release. That was stated by CD Projekt Red that they have been working on it, and then they tabled it. And then more recently, we have some newer comments from CD Projekt Red. Check this out here. It says Cyberpunk delays New Game Plus as it's an incredibly complex feature. It's not as simply as letting you start over with everything you've earned already unlocked. And here are some of the quotes from this article and from CD Projekt Red. It says New Game Plus is an incredibly complex feature to make that would require rebalancing the entire game with tons of various tweakings. For instance, Tost, who is a developer on CD Projekt Red, referred to plenty of these skill checks in gameplay and dialogue throughout the story, which would simply break an already predefined balance for your perks. So yes, we know it's difficult, but it's not impossible. I mean, they did it for The Witcher 3, so my opinion is, what's the problem here? I think it is manpower. I think they have a lot of people rotating over to The Witcher 4 right now, Unreal Engine 5, and yeah, that's what I think is the main issue. It's not that they can't do New Game Plus. It's that, yeah, they have only a finite amount of developers working on Cyberpunk when it comes to updates. They have more developers working on the expansion, but once the expansion is done, I believe a lot of those people, or if not the majority of them, will head on over to The Witcher 4. Furthermore, it says this, Toss agrees none of these things are impossible, but there's a lot more work to be done than one may think at first glance. It's sadly not a matter of just allowing you to start a new game with your existing V and calling it a day. We're listening and investigating, no promises, however, so don't hold your breath. Seems like they're interested in making New Game Plus happen, but at the same time, they are not outright promising that New Game Plus is going to be happening. But I still think it needs to. I still think we need like an expansion pack 2 and an expansion pack 3. But yeah, let's be realistic here. Now, there are some really cool hints going around in leaks about the expansion, by the way. And this is not update 1.7. The expansion is completely separate. It says here, DLC leak hints at new areas to explore in Pacifica. The upcoming expansion has reportedly been data mined, with the leak revealing details about the DLC's new setting and quest line. Now, you guys know me, I don't like getting into story specifics, so you don't have to worry about that ever here, unless I like put a huge warning on screen. But it goes on to say this, and we're not going to be talking about story. It says, according to Reddit users, the files seem to confirm the expansion will include fixer quests, world stories, and new world encounters, as well as the 7 main missions. And we will be headed to the combat zone, it looks like, as well as having like some sort of major mission within the stadium. So that should be really, really cool. Now, world stories. A lot of you guys are probably wondering what that could tell. Now, we did get some indication from the CD Projekt Red stream that world stories are smaller encounters right now, but I really, really hope that they expand on these encounters or make multi-part side quests As I've stated many times before, I'm going to keep pushing for that. That's what I want to see for the expansion throughout all of Night City, by the way, because if you're like me, you want Night City to be fully fleshed out and fully developed. All right, so now it's time to get into your top comments. Remember, leave a comment down below. It could end up right here in the video, so let's do this. We have this one right here. It says CD Projekt responds, expansion updates, DLC news, and the future Witcher 3 updates as well. Yeah, you got to remember, I don't even know if a lot of you guys know this, we will be getting the Witcher 3 next gen by the end of 2022. That has been confirmed by CD Projekt Red. They're on target. It doesn't sound like it's going to be delayed, so that's really cool. Furthermore, we have this one from Zane Harris, who says this: I'm glad we're getting an expansion, but the Perez cliffhanger, Morgan Blackhand's fate being deliberately vague, and the amount of NPCs that mentioned him seems like they wanted to do more with these loose ends. Hopefully, whenever we do get a sequel, we can see what happened to them. Absolutely, and you never know. Maybe this stuff will be mentioned in the expansion, so yeah. And it sounds like they might be doing something different with the endings in the expansion, according to leaks, but that has my curiosity piqued for sure. Next up, we have Demented Shadow, who says the following: the launch was a disaster, the critics were brutal, and it's only getting one expansion. Yet, this game keeps creeping up on my list of favorite games. This game was my first introduction into Cyberpunk, but the years of hype to grab my attention. Futuristic games aren't usually my thing, but I can't get enough of Night City. And I'm seeing that more and more. I feel like this game is like having this word of mouth thing happening right now, and it just keeps growing and growing slowly, like it's a slow slumbering beast that's finally waking up. Now, what's going to really make it wake up is, of course, what modders do here in the future with Red Mod. Yeah, that's a whole other story. Next up, we have Landy Smith, who says this: thank you for your diligence in keeping us updated. I would love a DLC focused on the Perez couple. Looks like Pan Am will remain in the Sandstorm. Yeah, no problem. I appreciate the compliment there. Yeah, I promise you guys I would stay up to date on Cyberpunk. Some people said I was absolutely insane, and I don't care. I love what they've done here with Night City. The game isn't perfect, but there's so much potential here. And what game is really like perfect? Maybe Goshima. Next up, we have this one right here from Nestro, who says this: I think you're right. This game really deserves a permanent dev team, and yes, it seems like they are playing damage control with the investors in mind, not the fans who bought the game. I've always stated this. I wish CD Projekt Red would begin communicating with us more than the investors. I would love that. You know, they always have these live streams around investor calls right before them, and yeah, that makes sense. But hey, what about us? You know, can you start communicating to us outside of these investor time periods? And remember, check this out right here. And remember, join me in the free World War II multiplayer shooter Enlisted. It's available on PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation 5, then also PS4 and Xbox One with cross-platform support. Click my link in the description below right now to download for free, and by registering with my link, you'll get a free bonus including 3 days of premium time and several orders for troops and weapons. Check it out in the description below. But anyway, there it is, the latest happenings around Cyberpunk 2077, and yeah, even Edgerunners. Let me know if you guys are enjoying that series or not. But thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you all next time.